the School of Kinesiology and Health Sciences. So I work with Dr. Rolando Sedia, and we study exercise and how it alters fat metabolism. So particularly relevant given kind of the high prevalence of obesity and type 2 diabetes that exists globally right now. And I'm particularly interested in two different types of fat. So we have white fat that we're most familiar with that stores energy. And
this one?
Yeah, everyone always says, I can donate fat. And brown fat, which actually takes the fatty acids or fuel and burns it off as heat. So we're trying to look at ways that we can convert some of that white fat to be more like brown fat, and therefore kind of taking maybe excess calories and just burning them off as heat. So you can do that by sticking someone in a cold environment and forcing them to produce this heat, but that's kind of uncomfortable. So you can also do it by having them exercise. And we've shown that exercise can also kind of convert some of that fat. So we're currently looking at the different mechanisms and ways that that happens to hopefully offer different targets and possibilities for people who would like to lose weight and maintain that weight loss, which can be really difficult. So that's kind of what I do, and I'd just like to thank the family for your support and for their scholarship. It means that I can do this research uninhibited by other worries or thoughts, and it's just a point of pride to write that I'm an Elia Scholarship winner when I publish papers, so thank you very much.
Hello everyone, I'm Anna Roberts, and I am now a second year student in Organization Studies at the Schulich School of Business. And first, I'm just really honored to be here. I love hearing about everyone else's research. You're all so accomplished. And I'd also like to thank the family, of course, for the generous scholarship. I couldn't be here without it. And I really think every day about how I can live up to your faith in me. So thank you. The scholarship has made it possible for me to pursue my interest in heterosexism. This is how the social institutions of government, religion, family, media, and particularly in my case, the workplace, how that collectively is organized to exclude and disadvantage same-sex relations. I'm particularly interested in how heterosexism becomes embedded in society and in the social structures and organizations. And so this year, I've been working on a pilot study of gay C-level executives and gay young professionals. So far, I found that they've been faced with increasing pressures to exhibit authenticity at work, but still they have to adhere to these heterosexist notions and ideas of what professionalism is. This is rooted in social beliefs about the nature of what professional work is. What does a meritocratic workplace look like, and what is the ideal worker? And sadly, this is found often in even gay-friendly workplaces, where they're pressured to conform to a constricted idea of what the worker is. So I'm also interested in how social institutions produce inequality broadly. So I'm doing another research project on precarious labor and how our social norms related to entrepreneurship help enable this growth of like a freelance or gig economy and how that develops. So thank you.
My name is Martin Dymkowski. I'm a fourth year Elia Scholar, and I'm doing a PhD in the computer science department. We're working on trying to develop machine learning methods by trying to take inspiration from human cognition, and conversely also trying to describe human cognition in computational terms. So it's quite an interdisciplinary approach, and in my case at least, it absolutely wouldn't have been possible without the Elia Scholarship, because it fit so nicely with how it works. And we're currently working on, so the application could be in any domain where there's human decision involved. We could try to apply our methods to model. Currently we're working with two projects that are trying to model decision making and patterns in migration for migrants. So one of the projects is looking at migrants caused by the conflict in Iraq and Syria. And the other project is looking at migration caused by climate change at multiple locations around the globe. So the main objective is sort of to develop the early warning system and try to understand better how the flows develop, how people are making decisions, when to move, and why to go to the places that they go to. So I'd like to thank you again very much.
Hi, my name is Emily. I am a first-year student in Gender, Feminist, and Women's Studies, so still new to me. And I am really honored to be here this evening and to have received this award. To echo my colleagues, it really enables me to pursue my studies without having to worry about working outside of school, and that really allows me to focus on my research and to develop skills as a researcher, which is sort of what I ultimately hope to do. And so my research is sort of motivated by my passion for preventing and addressing violence against women. I've had experiences volunteering at women's shelters in South Africa, and working with young immigrant women here in Canada as well. And so those experiences really shaped my understandings of the complexities of addressing violence against women and preventing it. And so one of the trends that we're seeing in violence prevention recently is efforts to engage men and boys. And so my research looks at how these efforts address social constructions of masculinity in their work. So it's sort of premised on the idea that it's not sufficient to just include men, but we need to sort of address those underlying power imbalances that sort of shape and inform men's behavior and perpetration of violence. And so I haven't picked my case studies so far, but I did do research at the master's level in South Africa on efforts to engage men and boys, and so I'm hoping to continue that perhaps in the Canadian context. Thank you very much for supporting me in this research, and I really hope that at the end of the day it has an impact in terms of informing effective means of preventing violence against women.
I am Marian Manu, and I'm a third-year PhD student, and I'm very grateful to be here because I had my comprehensive exam this morning. For the Elia family for providing me with this opportunity. I'm very grateful to Russ Belk, who's here, and he's my supervisor, and thank you for being here as well. My work is on Bitcoin and how I'm interested in studying how decentralized networks like Bitcoin can exist and suffer a lot of setbacks and still come out as a resilient brand at the end. So that's what I'm currently working on. Thank you so much for that.
My name is Ayaz Malik. I'm a second-year PhD student at the Faculty of Environmental Studies. I'm from Pakistan, and my research relates to urban Pakistan, and I'm looking at the link between urbanization, globalization, and working class formation in urban Pakistan, specifically over the last 40 years. So looking at factors such as migration, war, civil war, informality in the workplace and in housing, and political factors such as the decline of the trade union movement and the rise of religious and ethnic politics. As far as the scholarship and the foundation, the Elia family is concerned, I'm very grateful to the scholarship and to the family for providing this opportunity. It's quite important because the mandate of the scholarship concerns the value of a liberal education. And in a place like Pakistan, social sciences have generally been neglected as an area of research and funding, and especially issues relating to labor research have been especially neglected. So I guess and I hope that my research and the work that I'm doing fits into the mandate of the scholarship, and I'm extremely grateful to the family for continuing to do this. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Melanie Wilnick. I'm a second-year PhD student in the Art History department here at York, and I was a recipient last year in 2014. I thanked everyone last year, and I just want to thank you again so much for this scholarship and for the honor that goes along with it. It really, the money is fantastic, but it's also such a boost to support my research, to know that York values the kind of work that I'm doing, and that the Elia family values the kind of work that I'm doing. Because I feel very strongly that the work that, so I'm a curator. I look at curatorial practices around art exhibition and how space and art objects engage spectatorial engagement. So how art spaces create a dialogue with spectators about the meaning that work carries. And quite often that means that it has some sort of political connotations, and all of these really important conversations that we love to have and we need to have, and I think are really important. And art becomes a really interesting way to engage a large variety of people in those conversations. So that's what I think is so important, and I think that's what's really powerful about the Elia Scholarship, is that it enables that sort of research and really values that, which is really lovely. And the scholarship has also really enabled me to work interdisciplinarily, and York is fantastic in supporting that. But I've also had the opportunity to create artworks outside of the academic program, which is really amazing. So I'm having the opportunity, because of the funding that you've given me, to go out into the world and put the theories that I'm learning here into practice and engage people out in the city of Toronto. So thank you so much for doing that, and I can talk about my work a little bit later, but thank you again.